Good afternoon, 2:05 p.m. Mile marker 193 on I-80 eastbound here in Iowa. Good afternoon, Rhonda. So we are heading out here from basically Altoona, Des Moines, Iowa, here to Herod, like the old Israelite king, Herod, Ohio.
In 3 miles, take exit 197 on the right, onto the 18 road toward Brooklyn.
Blah, 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 blah. So we got a Caterpillar 140M3 motor grader. This is my first load with this RGN trailer. So it took a little bit longer to get loaded and properly set so that we're as legal as we possibly can be before the permits. We are 9 foot 4 inches wide, so we need permits for width. We're legal height, legal length, so no problem. Normally, my Iowa permit would have been okay with that. I would have had no problem with that. But my Iowa annual permit does not cover overweight. So we are 80,300 pounds. 300 pounds doesn't seem like a lot. And we do have some allowances in the state for our auxiliary power unit. Most of the places are 450, 500 pounds. So I probably could have gone without having to worry about the weight. But when it comes to doing business, you got to do things legal. So we should be A-okay. So we got permits for Ohio, Illinois, Indiana, and Iowa. I said all the way to Herod, Ohio, which is a little bit east and south of Lima, Ohio, which is right off I-75. So we're a little bit on the heavy side.
In a quarter mile, take exit 197 on the right, onto the 18 road toward Brooklyn.
We're not terribly wide. It's 9 foot 4 inches. That's a nothing width to worry about, but still need permits.
In a quarter mile, turn into First Lind onto the 18th road.
The GPS, unfortunately, is not really wanting me to stay on I-80 because for some reason there's overweight markings in the computer that is the GPS unit saying that 80,300 pounds is not allowed on this road. But my permit says otherwise. So there we go. The permit tells us where we have to be, so that's where we will be. So in about, let's see, we're at 197 right now. So in about 86 miles ahead, we're going to pull into Iowa 80, the world's largest truck stop. We're going to check our load because that's about 144 miles from where we were. There in Altoona. So we'll check our load, make sure our strap, all our chains are tight, everything is right like it's supposed to be.
In 3 miles, take exit 201 on the right.
We're not taking 201 on the right.
Toward Belle Plaine.
So like I said, we'll get down here, we'll check our load. Before I enter into Illinois, I need to read the Illinois permit to make sure I have everything in order and set properly. And I input into my GPS unit all the turns I need to make to be compliant with Illinois, Indiana, and then Ohio. Unfortunately, we're going a bit slower than I would like. I have the possibility of delivering, tomorrow afternoon. And hopefully it shouldn't be too bad. Shouldn't be too bad. It's roughly 600 miles. So as much as I can do today, I'm going to do. That, if that means I have to reserve a parking spot, I'll do that. I mean, that's not what I want to do. I don't want to spend the money on that, but I want to be able to move a little bit faster. I mean, I had a look, like I said, today was my first loading with this type of trailer. So, learning how to unhook the trailer, load, rehook the trailer. It's still, I'm still a bit slow at that, which I'd rather do it correctly and slow than fast and have something mess up. We don't need that. But every single load I do, we'll correct that. Eastbound, right side, 201. So every load I do, I'll get better and more efficient at it. And I'll figure out the best way for me to. I have it a couple of years because I've unhooked the truck 5 times so far. In practicing and then also loading. Pardon me. So I have a few ideas already on how to make it more efficient for me. But, there's practice on, without loading and unloading. And then there's, real world, doing it for, with the load on there, doing it where the conditions are always changing. But we'll learn. We'll get where it needs to go.
In 3 miles, take exit 205 on the right onto B Avenue toward Victor.
And it's not just manipulating the trailer when I'm unhooking and hooking the trailer and putting loads on and off. It's also driving with the trailer, because instead of driving a trailer 10-foot, 1 inch, split between the front and back axle of the trailer, now both of my axles are together, just like on this red truck that just passed the going westbound. My tires are my 2 axles on the trailer are now 4 foot 1 inch apart. And I have not driven that kind of trailer in 5 years. So getting used to that and how it steers, that's something else I have to be aware of, how to operate, how to drive this particular trailer. Also, because this is a removable gooseneck trailer, it sits a lot lower to the ground. My ground clearance is about 8 to 9 inches off the ground. And for 30 feet, 30 something feet, I have to be aware of, what roads I drive on, railroad crossings, hills on the road, entrance ways, like I said, coming into some truck stops, some of them have steep angles coming in. So it might not be possible to get into some truck stops. I mean, the one that I can think of most is Moody, Alabama. And if I remember correctly, the entranceway closest to the highway, they actually have a sign posted, no load trailers. So like, we're not doing that. So this car hauler next to me could not use that entrance. We have to go to the back entrance, furthest away from the highway. We have to enter there and leave that way. So the things like that I have to now learn where to do, where I can and can't go, how I have to steer into some of these places. I know I have to take a little bit wider turns and be more cognizant of curbs, more than I already am. But because the front of my trailer is a sharp piece of heavy steel, I'm just going to destroy a curb if I hit it. So I have to make sure I take those turns a little bit wider to make sure the bottom of my trailer will clear any curb, any obstruction when I'm making a turn. So I cannot drive exactly the same way as I did before. All right, so 78 miles to go, so just a little bit over an hour. The GPS, like I said, keeps wanting me to get off and do the back roads. I can't do that because permits have me on this road. And once I get here to Highway 80, review all the permits, blah, blah, blah. And this will be my first load with this trailer, this type of trailer. It is a little bit more work physically, which being a lazy truck driver, I could always use a little bit more work. So that's not an issue. That's actually a benefit to me health-wise. I get more exercise. I'm challenging my mind a little bit more, challenging the body a little bit more. I'm learning what I need to do and how I need to do it. So if I pick up another one of these particular model of motor grader, I'll have a better idea of where I need to position it to be properly balanced.
8 miles, take exit 211 on the right, onto H Avenue toward Millersburg.
I will know what's the best way to secure it to the trailer. I do not know how to operate this particular model. I'm more familiar with the John Deere's. Caterpillar, no, I'm not familiar with it at all. They don't exactly make it intuitive. So, like I said, we will eventually understand. See, like that Volvo excavator there, that wheel John Deere wheel loader. I'll be taking more of stuff that size, but those I know how to operate. This one I don't. So, but you know, that's part of the fun, part of the challenge. Why I like doing this type of trucking. Here the GPS once again lets me get off, so I can do 106 miles, which is stupid, instead of doing 74 miles. Whatever. So we have to worry about curfew times today in Illinois, and then
Speed limit reduced ahead.
Damn it, sucker, hold your fucking lane.
sorry about that. Foul mouth people up there. Like I said, you know, determining what roads I'm required to take in Illinois, what speed I'm required to go, how late I can drive.
Take the first exit on the right onto H Avenue.
Will determine on when I can stop, or when I need to stop. I'm going to go as long as I possibly can today. I'm going to put as many miles on today as possible. We did basically 46 miles today-ish. So we've done basically 80 miles. We're looking at about 180 something miles when we get to 190 miles. We get here to Iowa 80. And let's see, what will that leave us? That'll leave us basically 423 miles to get to my delivery in Ohio. Which, determining on the roads we got to take, the speed we're going to be limited to, the time I can start in the morning. I mean, I really should not have too big of an issue to get there by 4 o'clock in the afternoon at the latest. I'm counting on 3 p.m. But as I've said ad nauseum, apparently now, you know, the further I can go today means the easier it's going to be tomorrow, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I get done early enough.
3 miles. Take exit 216 on the right onto County Route V66 towards Marengo.
If I can, you know, get up here, say about 70 miles from now to Iowa 80, and if I can do another, well, let's see, that's going to be 3:30 when I get there. If I can do another 100, 150 miles, or at least 100 miles more, I would consider that good. I should, without too much problem, if I go down I-74, I can easily get to Woodhull. I can easily get to Knoxville. Maybe Leroy. And that's like I said, but I don't think I'm going that way. I'm probably going on I-80. straight out towards Chicago way. So Atchison, LaSalle, Manuka. I mean, those are all possibilities. And if I need to reserve a parking spot, I will. Marengo, North English, Iowa.
Speed limit reduced ahead.
And it wants me to get off the highway again. All right, so tonight's dinner, which is probably the most important
Speed limit
topic,
reduced ahead.
I'm gonna have some more of my burritos. It's been a week. I've had them for basically for a week in there in the refrigerator and freezer. So I'll make some burritos tonight for dinner.
In a quarter mile, take the first exit on the right onto County Route V66.
I made a little bit of rice, some leftover chicken, and some peas. I had that for dinner last night. I mean, I got a little bit of that left in my Instant Pot. All I can do is pop it in the microwave, heat that up real quick, or just take it up, throw it in a pan, fry it up real quick.
Turn left onto County Route V66.
Here comes a Peterbilt W990. How you like that 990 there, Hughes? So I haven't seen a whole lot of W990, Kenworths on the road. I've seen a few. I mean, they're not too bad looking. My company, the company I work at, just got they got like what, 7 or 8 new T680 Kenworths, but that's for the van side, for the van division. I mean, they're all automatics. They all have double bunks. They're not too bad inside. I mean, I drove a 990 before. The way they're spec'd out here, they're not too bad looking. The worst part about them, for me, they're automatics. I'm not a big fan of automatics. Plus, I don't want to do van anyway. I want to do when I'm doing heavy haul, oversized construction equipment, farm equipment. That's what I enjoy doing. And maybe now we can actually pass these guys. There's a nice little Airstream up there. Yeah, we're on the concrete, so rough. Bounce.
In a quarter mile, take exit 220 on the right.
We are not taking 220. We're going to go 64 miles up the road to Iowa 80 on I-80.
In a quarter mile, turn at the first left onto P Avenue.
So even though we have an annual permit, which covers width and height here in Iowa, it does not cover our weight. And 300 pounds overweight. So this permit just cost us $36.50 over and above our normal permit, because we're 300 pounds overweight. Then, of course, we have a permit for Illinois, a permit for Indiana, and a permit for Ohio. Even though we have two annual permits in Ohio. We have one for farm equipment, one for construction equipment, neither of which covers weight as well. Hey, Harry, how you doing? I believe that's Harry. I forgot to ask a long time ago. I hope you got that hat I sent. I sent out 5 hats. And I believe it's Harry right there. Got one of them.
3 miles.
If I remember right.
225 on the right, onto U Avenue toward I-80 bypass east.
Thanks for interrupting. If I remember right, you got the winter beanie, the winter cap. Some of these people out there, I tell you, some of them can light it up pretty bad, huh, Aaron? I'm fortunate enough, my digestive system, I don't have that problem, so, we're good to go for me, at least. But like I said, we're heading off to Hubbard, Ohio. We're delivering this 140 M3 Caterpillar motor grader to where they're putting in a solar farm. So a place where all these solar panels are laid out and all connected together. We're bringing a machine there that's going to help to grade the land so they can install all that stuff. Now, I've been to solar farms. I've been to windmill farms. I've been to steel mills, factories of all kinds. I've been to farms,
Speed limit reduced.
all kinds of businesses doing this kind of job. Where I never thought I'd be doing that kind of stuff, but pretty interesting. Sometimes it's interesting. Most time it's boring as all get out. But the thing is, like every job, you have to enjoy what you're doing to make it worthwhile.
In a quarter mile, take the first exit on the right, onto U Avenue.
All right, we're gonna just turn that volume off. But it is work. It is a job. So there are times where a man just has to suck it up and do the job he quote unquote hates doing, but still needs to do it at the utmost of professionalism with the greatest amount of skill that he has. Because sometimes it's necessary to do what you have to do, not what you like to do. I'm in the fortunate position where I'm doing what I enjoy doing. I like doing this job. I like the company I work at. Notice how I said not work for. I don't work for this company. I work at this company. And I get to have pretty decent equipment. I have good people that work with me, above me, on the side of me, whatnot. I enjoy the type of equipment and loads that I pull. I'm given a lot of control to do it the best way that I know how to do it. I'm not being micromanaged or treated like I'm an idiot. I may be an idiot, but they don't treat me that way, at least for this part. Like I say, the only real regret when it comes to work that I've had since being a truck driver is leaving this company last year at the beginning of March and leaving for 11 months and losing that time that I could have stayed here. But you live and learn. I thought it would be a good opportunity. And it turns out it wasn't. It was okay. I mean, the first company I went to was Tucker Freight out of Dubuque. It was all right. The biggest issue was the truck I was driving. Radar and cameras and sensors and the fact it was an automatic. The first truck I was driving just kept breaking down. I've never spent that much time in hotels as I did at Tucker Freight. I don't think it was their fault. I mean, they were growing too fast. They had to buy trucks that were exactly new, so I was having problems. Transmission issues, window issues, just air conditioning issues, just non-stop problems. Was constantly going into hotels, because of things like that. It was not. That part was frustrating. But then I got a brand new Freightliner Cascadia, a crappy automatic. I hate that. Radar, cruise control, which was taken out of my hands. Side radars always beeping and blinking and making noises and driving me crazy. I just couldn't do it. So instead of coming right back to Valley like I should have, I went to Keene Thumb. They made good offers. It sounded like a good idea. I thought, my wife wasn't too happy with the move, but she said, go ahead and do it, blah, blah, blah. So I started driving a vehicle that I liked for the most part. There's still some things I didn't like. But the company itself, the processes they had in place, the way they did things, and certain things were said which I'm not going to say anything other than it wasn't exactly correct. And the way they did things was just slow and plodding, and it was repetition, and it just was not conducive to the way I want to work, the type of work I want to be doing. So, I was at Tucker Freight for 8 months. The company was good, the vehicle sucked. The overall work environment, what I ended up doing was running a dedicated route for Case, New Holland. That was good. That was fantastic. But the truck itself sucked. I could not take the constant process that you had to do in the truck just to operate on a basic level. Radars and all kinds of things blinking and beeping and warning signals going off. And I just couldn't take it. You know, King Thummel, the truck was fairly decent. The second truck was fairly. The first one, when you're on your first load and you go to put your food in the refrigerator and it's full of maggots, no thanks. That disgusts me. So then I got a second truck, 389 Pete. Just a lot of things were not what I wanted, when I was basically also given the impression of what I was going to be doing. So, you know, it just wasn't for me. I just couldn't take it anymore. The company itself had issues. I could not work with that, with the way they did things. I mean, the people were decent, but the processes sucked. You know, and, you know, I talked with my wife. I said, I am not happy. I can't do this anymore. I want to go back to Valley. And my wife was not happy about it either. I don't like you jumping around. I don't like jumping around either. So I put in my two, you know, I talked to the people here at Valley. What do I need to do to come back? We're updating my resume. They said, come on back. Give them my date I want to be there. And give my 2-week notice to be courteous. And got the heck out of there and came back. And I've been happier ever since. And another driver who was at King Thummel came along with me. You know, came about, you know, a couple weeks later, came with me to Val. So, you know, I made a little bit of money, an extra $500 for referral. So that's not bad. He's happier as well. So, you know. We are coming Tiffin, Ohio. Tiffin, Iowa. Get what state I'm in. Yeah, the GPS still wants me to take a long way around, so I basically got 50 miles to go. It wants me to do this big old roundabout loop, going back west part of, then north, then over east, and then south for 97 miles. Ain't doing that. Permits won't let me do that, and I wouldn't do that anyway. Right. So we got just about less than an hour up here to Iowa 80. Well, with the construction, I'm going to slow down a little bit, so we're just going to say an hour. So 3:45 I'll get there. Pardon me. And then, like I said, the straight way there by GPS, 423 miles. I'm going to give myself into Illinois, no matter what. I'll see how far I can actually go. All right, sunset is basically in the 8 o'clock hour. Where I'm at now here at Marengo, it's about 8:17 in Marengo, which is behind us. So we're going to say 8 o'clock over here in Illinois. So we have a little bit of time to drive. I may have to buy a parking spot, but I'll do that. But I got to lay out my excuse me. I'll lay out my route in the GPS for all the turns I'm required to make, pursuant to the Illinois permit. Where we have to be, how fast we can go, when we have to stop. So we'll check the permit, make sure all the arrangements for that. We'll check our load, make sure our chains and binders are tight, nothing's falling off, nothing's opening up, nothing's breaking. So we should be good for that. I just have to be a little bit more cognizant of my ground clearance, because like I said, I only got about 9 inches of clearance under 30 feet of my trailer. From the very front edge of the trailer all the way back to my tire, my front axle of my trailer, I have to be aware of that. So I'm going to approach, like I said, some of these angles and little hills and little bumps in the road. I'm going to approach them differently with a little bit more thought in my head than what I would be if I was driving my step deck trailer or a flatbed or a van trailer. Other than that, we're just gonna cruise on down the highway. And I wish people wouldn't speed in the work zones. That'd be a nice little bonus, but of course not. Work zone should end up here. I still got a signboard there. Yeah, there we go. Yep. So now we can speed up a little bit, get back up to 65. And of course, this car does not want to cooperate. Come on, lady. Of course, I had that car on the side of me. Got a hill. I can't accelerate because I weigh 80,300 pounds. I just can't change the lane and zoom. This lady's doing 50 miles an hour. If you're not going to do highway speed, please do not get on the highway. That's dangerous, as well as being discourteous. And now I got to wait for all this traffic to pass before I can even attempt to get over and start to pass. And that's probably when she's going to speed up. I get this Lexus around us. Get this Freightliner around us. Back up speed here. No legal route found. Really? Oh, Lord. No legal route found. How about just do what I tell you? I'll worry about the legality of it. Alright, well, my permit tells me this is a legal route, so I will do that. Idiots. Computers. Great tools. As long as the information inside of them is correct. Wide load behind me, carrying a John Deere seeder or planter or fertilizing rig of some kind. All right, 40 miles to Iowa 80.
Message from Jared Stitch, this Thursday, May 11, 2023, 2:53 p.m. Subject, standard email. ATCN, all 5 axle drivers I'm leaving for the day. Get there and for all your...
Blah, 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 blah. Pardon me. Lake McBride. All right. Yeah, the guy behind me is running about 12 foot. He's running about 12 foot wide, looks like. So he's got a little bit beefier load than I do, but I think he weighs less than what I do. If I remember what depending on what he's actually carrying, I believe I weigh heavier. I'm heavier in weight than he is. Oh, ready. Mile marker 246/8. We'll get this to Harrod, Harrod, Ohio, which is a bit west and a little bit south of Lima, Ohio, which is right off of I-75. We will get this delivered tomorrow. I mean, the earlier the better, of course. the guy who, the foreman or site manager, whatever his title is, he wants it ASAP. He was very happy when I called him because I had a little discrepancy I had to work out with him. So, I anticipate to be there by 3 p.m. That should not be too big of a deal, as long as I have no real issues along the way. From Iowa 80, it's basically 420 miles, more than likely a little bit more than that. But I want to do some more this afternoon to cut that down. These construction zones don't help at all. Turn my engine fan on, just be able to keep the engine at the proper temperature. It's just another day on the old highway, as it were. Last pay period, we did 76 miles. Not too bad. 3 pretty decent loads. I probably could have squeezed in a 4th if I had been given the 4th one. We could have broke good 6,000 miles last pay period, which would be a whole heck of a lot better. But sometimes you just got to take what's given. And of course, this week, made my delivery in South Dakota. Get headed back to headquarters. Got to headquarters Monday night or Monday afternoon. Got myself all checked in. Waited pretty much most of the day on Tuesday just to get into the shop and get in the shop, swap trailers, get some repairs done to the truck and the trailer, get everything checked out, get quote unquote trained on the on an RGN trailer. And then I got down to the Quick Star in Story City after I got a truck wash and everything else completed. So I stayed there last night. That was about 45 miles away from my pickup. So, basically I lost a full day, almost a full day. But it could have been worse, but it definitely could have been better. So we're going to try to make up for that quote-unquote loss on last week's pay period. I want to try to get this delivered tomorrow morning, or at least by, as close to noon as possible. 3 o'clock is when I anticipate to be there, but the closer to noon I can make it, the better. Pardon me. Excuse me, man. And then hopefully we have another load assigned immediately. That's number one. Two, it is close enough to where I can go pick it up. And three, a good distance away, 1,000 miles or so that I can deliver it on Tuesday midday, drive all day Friday, rest of the day Friday, drive all day Saturday, drive all day Monday, deliver Tuesday morning, go pick up the next load, have that one, and it will be picked up and delivered by the morning of Friday. Then the next load, the same thing. Pick up Friday, deliver Tuesday, pick up Tuesday, deliver Friday, pick up Friday, deliver by Tuesday, and then that'll put a good amount of miles on for next pay period to be a good paycheck. If I can do that, that'll be excellent. We'll see. If I can do that, me and my wife will be very, very happy with that. Because, like the old saying goes, if the wheels aren't turning, you ain't earning. If you're snoozing, you're losing. West Branch, Iowa. Now we get back up to 70. Thank goodness. More than likely, I'm going to be slowed down in Illinois. More than likely, I have to read what the permit says. But as long as I can get, do another 100 miles after Iowa 80, I'll be satisfied with that. I won't complain too much. If I can get down around only needing another 300 miles to go tomorrow, we can make it to around 1 o'clock ish, depending on what speed we can do. Oh, pardon me, man. But we will see what is what. Mackerel. Eastbound, right side, 256. Why did you slow down there, knucklehead?
Look, you didn't know white car coming up on your green bucket.
Lord.
Oh, damn. copy. Control that.
All right. Yeah, so, another easy day. A little bit of learning, which I enjoy learning. I like being challenged mentally and physically. Now that I'm pulling a removable gooseneck, an RGN trailer, I'm getting both of that. There are a few things, like I said, I want to modify or change. I need a new neck board, because what I have is so rounded over, it just slips out. So I need a new neck board, one that's a lot more square. So when I put it up on my ramps, it'll stay where it needs to stay. It's having it slip out. It's done it a couple times already, and I'm not happy with it, so I'm just going to replace it. Give me a nice square board. May take a little bit out of the middle to reduce the weight, put a handle on it. Westbound, you're going to have some Jersey wall and a little narrow road ahead, so you have to run that zipper.
That was pretty far, but it sounded like they said there's some Jersey balls up there. We got 18 of 4 and 18.
Yeah, the road construction is knocking out the westbound side, so it's moving over to right next to the eastbound side. Jersey walls and cones and barrels. All right, so 23 miles to my stop here at Iowa 80. I'm going to top up my ice heater. This little Sprinter van here is just moseying on down the road, so we're moving just a little bit faster than him, so we're going to keep our progress going. We're allowed to do 70 miles an hour. I'm going to do 70 miles an hour. Eastbound, right side, 261 on the downhill. another day on the highway. We're just going to keep doing what we do, the way we do it. Safe, legal, properly, and then whenever possible, as rapidly as we can. We're not going to go fast just to get it there. We're not going to cut any corners. We do it right and correct. That's why it took, a bit longer for me to get my load secured on this trail a little bit longer, because I'm taking my time to do it correctly. I went back twice to have it repositioned to make sure I weigh as evenly and as possible. Nobody does anything stupid around me. I don't lose my mental faculties or whatnot. We shouldn't have too big of an issue. I thought I was originally going to be coming down here to Davenport. That was kind of the original idea of what I'd be doing, but we went to Altoona. You learn, you grow, you get better, and then when you do that, everything becomes a lot easier. And then you look for the next challenge, which we will see what is available for us to do, and we will do our best. Mackerel. I am definitely looking forward to a few burritos tonight. I've had a few, I've had like a serving of Pringles. I had a Pepsi. I shouldn't have had that, but I had a Pepsi. And I've had a whole lot of water today. And a Powerade. Or a Powerade Zero. Now I can do with fasting a little bit. It ain't gonna kill me. Some homemade burritos. Refried beans. Beef mix, beef filling, onions, some bell pepper, cheese, refried beans, lettuce. Heat that up. Heat up some tortillas. Throw it in, wrap it up. We'll have 2 or 3 of those, not making them gigantic, making them decent size. around. Narrow Bridge, 269. More. All right. So the GPS again wants me to get off here at this exit and take 47 miles to get to Iowa 80 when my permit tells me to stay on Iowa 80, and that's only another 14 miles to Iowa 80. Yeah, we're just going to stay where we're required to stay. As I will check our load, we'll go over the permit, then we'll see what the rest of the day brings us. Where we need to go, what roads we require to take here in Illinois. Heck, they could make me take I-88, which I rarely ever take. I think I've been on I-88 maybe 3 times in my trucking career. I may get moved on to the back roads. Who knows? We will see. 12 miles to Iowa 80. Definitely been craving a nice old lasagna. Well, that and enchiladas. So maybe I still have plenty of food in the refrigerator. I don't really need anything. I think the biggest thing is vegetables. I have some peas some frozen peas. I have peas in a can. I have some corn in a can. I got some frozen mixed vegetables. I got a little bit of salad fixing, carrot, celery, onion, some bell pepper. So I'm good for food for a little while, but there are some things that I don't have the ingredients for that I would like to make. Really want to get done before that I haven't had the time for. I haven't had the decent amount of weather. It's actually building some cabinetry for this truck to make everything fit like I want it to fit. These guys are in front of me again only because they're speeding in work zones. So now I got to deal with people like this for second, third, fourth time. Right. Got about 6 miles. Scott County. But we'll make the best of what we can do for the rest of the afternoon. It's just about 3:30. We'll definitely leave there before 4 p.m. Pardon me. So if I drive to 6, maybe 7 o'clock, that'll be plenty of time before the curfews start. I have basically 4 hours on my daily clock and my drive time. I mean 4:30 right now, but I was going to cut that and say 4 o'clock or 4 hours. And we'll see where Illinois wants us to go and forces us to go. in Illinois, I'm not sure of right now. And then that affects the route in Indiana. That affects the route in Ohio. But no matter what, we will get it figured out. We will get it done the right and proper way. We'll get this motor grader delivered properly and safely. And then, like I said, fingers are crossed. We got ourselves another load to pick up immediately. That's close enough to where I can go get it loaded. If I need permits, I have if I only need an annual, my Ohio annual will take care of that, get started, and then any other permit I may need, hopefully we can get that in before the end of the day, Friday, so that it can get back to me so I can print them out and roll, no matter what state I need to go through. And we'll call that a good day. So right up here on the left-hand side, Iowa 80. We got a pilot on the north side, right across the street. We got another pilot on the south side of the highway. So there's plenty of parking. There's more than 1,000 parking spots here. Point, the rest of the distance all the way, pretty much all the way to the border with Illinois. It's going to be like 65 miles an hour for the most part. And we will go from there. Jump 17th, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. Letting the Jake brake do a lot of the work. Okay, here's one of those places where you got to take it a lot wider than I normally would. Just because my trailer's low. Hey, come on, man. Come on, RV. What are you doing?
I'm a line of preacher radio checks.
All right, 5th gear. Up into 7th. 8th. 9th gear. 10th. Up into 11, 12, finally at 25 miles an hour.
Driver, you see that gentleman sitting in that wheelchair right beside the road waving to everybody? Give him a toot.
Just like that?
Yeah, the gentleman is sitting right there in front of the highway 80. Give him a toot.
Alrighty. Okay, bring that back down to 11th. I said we're going to pop in here. We're going to check our load. Don't worry, I ain't gonna hit you. I don't need blood and guts all over my vehicle. Thank you very much. There we go.
I might be able to hear you now. I had the volume turned down. Come on.
It don't help to have the volume too low where you can't hear anybody. We're gonna pull right up in here. Loaded. Hopefully nobody parks on our right side that we can easily turn around. So there's Iowa 80. Thanks for joining me. Talk to you later. Stay safe. God bless.